Okay, let's see. I'm going to let Facebook grow an audience here as I get some of the details taken care of as we prepare to go live here. Interesting morning this morning with an opportunity to welcome some new folks and get a new thing going for this week. I've been talking about opportunities this week. And so as you join, I will see you come in, but please feel free to announce yourself. Let me know who you are and where you're from. And I will be glad to welcome you as we go. Good morning, Deborah. Good to have you on. And others who are joining us all. Benjamin Hughes. Good morning, Drew. Good to have you. Good luck with your job opportunity this morning as well. Jason, I needed to see you, brother. I'm glad you're on. Jason, stick around for a second. I want to invite you into this call. If you're there, I want to invite you into this call. My guest for this morning was not able to make it. So guess who my backup is? My backup is my good friend, the Jason Hodge. So Jason, stick around for a minute, bro, and we'll have you on, okay? So just hang with me. I'll get you in here in just a minute. Let me make sure I've got all the things taken care of, and I'll be right back. Just a little bit of housekeeping I have to do because we're welcoming a new audience today, and that's the people from Optimal Giving. And I've seen a couple of names come up that I don't recognize, and so my assumption is with those names that are coming up that I don't recognize, and I want to make sure that we're here. When I see those names come up that I don't recognize, I'm assuming that they're coming over from Optimal Giving. So if you are, welcome to you this morning, and we're going to have an interesting time. I've invited Optimal Giving and their Facebook page to join us here because I think that that's pretty amazing what they do. And let me get this over here because I want to put the I want to put a link to their page here as quickly as I can, and so you all can have an opportunity to like their page because I want you to do that. All right, so hang with me as I get the link to that page, and I will do that right now. All right, so now in the comments you'll have the link to the Optimal Giving page. So there you go. All right, we're talking about impacting your community. At the beginning of the week, I said we were going to talk about opportunities this week. And Monday and Tuesday, we talked about opportunities. Wednesday is our normal day for the coffee shop show. I went to bed Tuesday night with an infected tooth, and I could not talk yesterday. Went to the dentist, and he got that taken care of. And so I am in the process of getting that healed up. And so a little slow this morning, and yesterday evening was a little tough, but glad to have you on this morning. And we're going to jump from Tuesday when we were talking about opportunity to today, and we're going to talk about the opportunity to impact your community. And we're going to talk about it as it relates to helping nonprofits, those kinds of things, even for-profit organizations that you might be able to make a huge impact in. And one of the things that brought this on was I got invited to a tailgate party tonight for an organization that I know absolutely nothing about. I just know what their mission is, and their mission makes a big difference to me. Okay? That mission makes all the difference in the world. And so, Jason, if you are still there, brother, I want to jump you in here if I can. So I'm going to invite Jason. And Jason does not know that he was my backup for today. So we'll give Jason a second to jump in here. And there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, introduce to you the Jason Hodge, good from the other side of the country. And Jason is an amazing guy, does an awful lot of work with nonprofits and others to impact his community. And I see he does a ton of live feeds, but Jason was the king of Periscope. I don't think anybody done more Periscopes than Jason Hodge. So at least Periscopes that made a difference. Your Periscopes made an impact. There's So just
Yeah, Periscope. Yeah, I absolutely love Periscope. It's a great. I mean, actually, and not to get off subject, but Periscope, I think where they had it together is that they started out where they just wanted to know, what are you seeing? What is your perspective? So you couldn't even start at the beginning of Periscope. You could not even start with the camera on you. It had to be on your world. So it was really amazing.
yeah, I saw some awesome stuff in the beginning of Periscope.
Hmm.
Saw somebody taking a trip around Easter Island one day, and
Hmm.
a walk around Easter Island. I'll never get a chance to do that, but I got to
Hmm.
watch it for 45 minutes on Periscope, and
Oh yeah.
just absolutely fascinated. So, but that's not the reason why we have you on today. We don't have you on to talk about.
Hmm.
I have you.
Of course,
I
of
want
course.
to impacting your community and nonprofits, and Jason does an amazing job of that. I had mentioned just before I brought you on that I was going to go to this tailgate party tonight, and so Jason, let's talk about the impact that people can have in their community and what to
Mm-hmm.
do, because the secret to a nonprofit being successful is they must make an impact.
That's true.
If they don't make an impact, and what they tend to do is they tend to talk about what they do or how much money that they need, and
Mm-hmm.
the wrong place to begin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have a question here. When I
Okay.
do this gig tonight, what I'm going to ask is, so what's your impact?
Mm-hmm.
If they're not making an impact, they're not going to get airy. Does that make sense? So Jason,
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, well, with impact, and you're coming in and out, so I'm hoping that I'm coming in, clearly. When it comes to impact, nonprofit organizations, they give you an opportunity to align with like-minded goals and values. And so when you find organizations that are doing the things that you already want to do, you can either volunteer, you can become a community partner. I'm a community partner with one of the nonprofits, and I do a program, actually a couple of programs at the middle schools. And so it's because of what it is that I saw in them the first year that I started working with them that I said, wow, this is right in line with what it is that I want to do and the way that I want to serve my community. So it gives you an opportunity to make a difference without having to do all of the heavy lifting yourself. A good nonprofit knows how to engage their community partners. They know how to engage, how to articulate their message of impact properly, and they know how to, ask for the help where they need it, whether it be financial or with warm bodies who can do things. Yeah,
sometimes you need somebody with a paintbrush in their hand, and and
absolutely.
and other times you need somebody like you that can make. I've watched Jason do an awful lot of promotional stuff with his phone, walking,
Hmm.
doing live feeds, doing a Periscope, doing something that can make a big difference. That
Hmm.
that one of the things that's missing is getting the story out, making sure that he understands the story of the nonprofit. And so, how do you do that, Jason? How do you get the story?
You know, that becomes very easy because it's just really a part of a conversation. One of my skill sets is being able to tell a story. It is being able to connect with people and to use technology to do it. And by demonstrating how I can just take my phone and go live on Facebook or on Periscope or on YouTube and immediately be in front of a marketplace. I remember when I first started doing the program, I had maybe about 12 or 14 or so kids in the first iteration of the program. And each one of them from the beginning started out where it's like, okay, they didn't want to have the camera in their hand at all or the phone in their hand to do live stream. By the time that we finished that 5 weeks, each one of them was able to get on there, do their interviews, talk about what they're about, talk about why they're amazing. And we went from having just about maybe 5 or 6 people who would watch the live broadcast to having over 300. I think we topped out at 400 and some odd live viewers by the time that 5 weeks was over, because they were able to see these kids just transform right before their eyes. So when you are dealing with live streaming, getting your message out, First thing you have to be willing to do is to be vulnerable and to be authentic with your message. Who are you? Why have you opened your doors? Why are you doing what you're doing? And what do you do that is making a difference in your community? You know, are you going to leave a hole if you're not in your community, if you're not there? And if so, how do you show that just by being who you are? So the live streaming and these mediums that we have that are free to use,
Yeah.
are amazing ways of doing that. We've got Twitter, we've got YouTube, we've got blogging, we've got so many avenues that before we didn't have, that now I don't see enough nonprofits taking advantage of them.
Well, I think you identified a key factor just a minute ago, and that was. And by the way, let me park here for just a second. If you're watching, don't hesitate to share this, because this is valuable information. People that need to hear what we're talking about right now, and leaders of nonprofits that really need to hear what we're talking about right now. So don't hesitate to share that with other people, because while Jason and I may have a hiccup or two in our technology and in our presentation, still this is valuable stuff that they need to hear. So I think there is this fear that I'm going to say something wrong, or it's not going to look professional, or it's not going to address that, Jason, because you do a great job.
Oh, okay. Get comfortable with it. You are going to say something wrong. It's as simple as that. You are going to say something wrong. You are going to come off as imperfect. You are going to flub your words, and it's okay, because that's who people are. When you show up too polished and too perfect, there is something about that rings inauthentic, and you're about to try and sell me something, or you're trying to hide something. But when you can just show up, hey, we're here, we are doing this event in the community, and look at all the impact, look at how the kids are, look at how our partners, what they're doing. The impromptu interviews, they are amazing ways of just really exploiting and exposing the value that you bring to the table. I was just at an event that we had a community event for the neighborhood and the kids about to go back to school. And the opportunity showed up where I was able to just take my camera, walk around the event, and interview all of the partner organizations that came down to give of their time, give of their expertise, and to pour into the community. And so by doing that, they did not expect that I was going to be live streaming. As a matter of fact, I did not have a plan to live stream or go and interview people, but I'm like, why not? We have an opportunity to create some amazing footage, to get some great sound bites for what we're going to need to be doing, moving forward in this whole year. So I'm going to take the opportunity, because I saw a place where the organization themselves did not have that set up. So I went, interviewed everybody, got some great sound bites, learned more about the organizations myself. So I was like, oh, wow, so it edified me, but it also edified the viewers. And so if you are always thinking of how can what I do be a benefit to those who would otherwise not support me, but this can give them that opportunity to support me, then I've got to take that opportunity. And you have to get out of thinking, how am I going to look personally? A lot of times you find organizations who don't show up for their marketplace on the camera because they don't like how they themselves look on camera or how they themselves sound on radio. And they make it about themselves. And yeah, it's not about you at all. And you've got to now get outside of yourself, because you are the advocate, the ambassador for your organization. So it's your job to put your organization on the map at every turn necessary. So, live streaming, beautiful way to do it.
Yeah.
Showing up authentically.
That Carolyn made here, because I think this is important as we talk about that live streaming and being authentic. She said, statement, you're going to leave a hole in your community if you aren't there. Well, here's what people need to see. It's not a perfect fit in the hole. It's just an authentic fit in the hole.
It's an authentic fit.
And if you can be the authentic fit, and people catch you when your shirt's buttoned up funny, or whatever it is.
Or when you don't have a set behind you, Yeah, I was like, I said, oh, Eric, we're going live. Okay, let me flip the light on. And
be ready.
Exactly.
here's the thing. I'd sent Jason a note about 5 minutes before we went live. Hey, bro, can we talk? And he didn't respond back. So it's like, dude, I really wanted to have you on my live. So when you came on, okay, don't go away because I'm going to grab you and put you on here. We need to be that spontaneous. And the true mark of a leader is somebody who can be spontaneous.
Right.
Not somebody, and if there's anything that our communities desperately need that will make a huge impact, is people who are leaders that qualities will make all the difference in the world in the effectiveness of a nonprofit if they can be authentic and take leadership, which means, yes, I'll step up, I'll take the mic, I'll step in front of the phone. I can do that.
Absolutely. And where that's concerned, and it's funny, I didn't even get the message, but I was knocked out. That's why you're but here's the thing,
Jason,
is that
it's 7 o'clock in the morning for Jason.
I know it's late for me. I slept in. But here's the thing, is that when it comes to that, everybody in your organization should know your message, and they should feel your message to the point where they don't have to remember your message because they are your message. And that's, and that is one thing that I've noticed in the organizations that I like to work with, is that through and through, from their volunteers to their staffers, everybody has the same heart or the same objective. This is what we want to accomplish. These are the impacts that we're making, and this is why we're here. And everybody's why is different, but their ability to articulate their why, once you get them out of themselves, it always comes down to what they're able to bring to the table to get the end goal objective met that everybody's on board with. And so if we are able to, speak on that, what is your why when it comes to what you do in the organization? You never have to script yourself. You never have to remember anything. You can always show up at the drop of a dime because your heart is what speaks. So, I think that this is very important, what you're doing here.
And as a leader, let's talk about this from a leadership standpoint, because our good Jen Yarbrough is always saying always talking about.
Love Jen, that's my sister.
And I love her, and I can't wait to have her on very soon, because this is very important. But here's my point. That leader will be able to coach their staff, their volunteers, their help, if they hear them say something, which it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to have the focus in the wrong place. It gives coaching.
Yes.
And
yes.
Coaching your help. I don't know what else to call it. Coaching those people who are there to help, whether they're paid staff or volunteer staff or whatever it is. Coaching those people becomes a great opportunity to help us to focus the mission and the ministry and the whatever it is that we're doing. To be able to see them and coach them.
Right. Well, they're your team. And, and here's the beauty of it. When you understand that even all the way down to the smallest job in your organization, if that job wasn't done, it would leave a hole.
It leaves a hole.
And so, it leaves a hole. And so in the leadership piece, when as a leader, you respect and honor each one of those positions and what each one of those people bring to the table, to where they feel like, wow, my contribution, it matters, and that they respect that, they honor that, they look for it. It changes the game, because now people, they feel the appreciation. And so they want to come back, and they want to even pour more in, because they don't get that in their 9 to 5. It just doesn't happen on the norm unless they have a very special 9 to 5, an employer who gets it. So as a nonprofit organization who has to partner and collaborate with other organizations in order to get the big job done, it is imperative that they not only can speak to their partners in that way, but also to the team. which is composed of their staffers,
Yeah.
of their leaders, of their volunteers, of their promoters. You know, everybody needs to know that what you do is very vital to our organization's well-being and our ability to impact in the way that we have told the community that we want to show up. So they've got to be able to articulate that.
They do. They do. Our good friend James has just asked a question here about reported, and I want to use that. I want to chase that, and then we'll probably pick up here and do this again later. We're getting on to 20 minutes now, so because I'm going to address this question. The great thing about these live feeds is that they're recorded and they're live streamed. So
yes,
you go to my page or Optimal Giving or any of the other pages. And by the way, if you're watching, make sure that you like the page for Optimal Giving. I'll talk about their contribution in the community later because they play a little role, and their little role that they play can make a huge difference. So, but they're always available in that video section. And then what I do with my live streaming is that I also take it and post it to YouTube. So I have it available in lots of places. We'll also make it available in the places for the organizations that are a part of this on Thursdays. And so, yes, we'll have, I promise you, brother, we will not have any trouble finding the recording because we do a good job of keeping track of that. So that's the great thing about streaming is that this.
Love live stream. And you know what? And to speak to that, for those organizations who are not taking advantage of live stream and these other free platforms that are out there, it behooves you to do that. The reason being is that, you know, and I'll tell you just from my background, I remember we did one of the first, if not the first, but one of the first live streams on the internet back in the late 90s, early 2000s, with one of the radio stations in California. And I remember how much it cost, you know, just to put it on. It was around $40,000 to put on that mini concert. And I mean, that's a drop in the bucket when it comes to concerts and all of that. It's a very intimate gathering, you know, at one of the houses up there in Malibu. But we now have gone from that, which it was not the same as what we have right now. The ability that we have in our hand in these smartphones gives us the ability to run a production that is, you know, worth over $100,000.
It has another value, Jason. This is the value that it has. If you and I had got together, and we could do this, we could have gotten together and we could have recorded this and we could have posted it on Facebook and it would have been cool.
Right.
We could have stopped and said, James, here's where you're going to find it. And this is how.
Right.
And we couldn't have taken the comments that were made and responded to those comments or answered or thanked them and told them how much we love them and appreciate that. We can't. This is our chance to do that. And
that's right.
Even do that in a video that doesn't sound horribly scripted.
Turn page here. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that, that is the beauty of it is that it gives you the opportunity to connect. And really it comes down to connection.
Oh yeah.
If what you're doing, the bottom line is not connection, then there's no way for you to ever form what I call the KLT factor, the know, like, and trust factor. Nobody gets to know you because they don't see you outside of your script. And if you can't see a person outside of their script, who are they really? Okay, if you can't see an organization outside of its script or its canned mission statement, who are they really? Okay, so it's the same thing. And when you think of your organization, think of it as a person that is living and breathing. It is an entity that people need to learn to know, you know, get to know, learn to like, and then they will trust the organization to deliver upon what the organization said that they've opened their doors to deliver upon.
Right.
Yeah. Live stream allows us to do that. You know, the marketing medium allows us to do that. And so you have to take that and look at how many ways can I get my message, my authentic message out to the marketplace. So that's when I show up with an organization, that's what I focus on. How are you telling your story? How are you selling your story? How are you sharing?
Yep. That's the whole thing in a nutshell, Jason. So as we invited the new crowd in today, and that's optimistic. And we'll talk a lot more about optimal giving on the Thursdays to come. And you and I will have a conversation about optimal giving as well with Jen about it. And but here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Like my invitation to tonight's gig, as long as you're passionate about it.
Right.
And then you have to ask the key questions. And so minus a guest today, I had 5 key questions that I'll talk about later. I may even later in the group so that people can have them. Because I think there's 5 key questions that you need to ask an organization as you're getting ready to do that. And they need to have an answer to. And so in time to come. Jason, thank you so much for joining.
You're so welcome.
I appreciate you very, very much and all the stuff that you do on behalf of your community. One of the things that attracted me to Jason to begin with was the fact that he was deeply involved in his community, very genuine and very authentic in the things that he does. And so I appreciate you taking a moment and jumping in here last minute as my plan B or C guest today. So Jason, I really appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us today. Make sure that you like the page for, well, I guess it will be down here, because I put it in the comments. Make sure you like the page for Optimal Giving so that you can be informed of what we're doing there as well. Okay? Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it.
All right.
Brother.
Have a good one.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me.